Hey everybody. Okay, so today is Wednesday, September 1st, and with today's lesson, we were continuing on with our partial products, our area model, and then moving into standard algorithm. So just a reminder, the goal is to understand what standard algorithm is because we're going to be working in standard algorithm the rest of the time. And when you're working on math, that's what you do. Most of the time, you're not going to do the area model or the partial products. Sometimes you may feel like it, and that's okay. But ultimately, remember that our learning target and our TEKS is that you can multiply a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number using standard algorithm. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I'm only going to be working on this one problem here so that you can understand what we're going to be doing with the rest of them. So let's get started. So when you're estimating, you have 34 times 12. With here, I can say that it's 34. I can either keep it at 34 and do 12 is closest to 10, and that's fine. I can do it that way. Or you can say 34 is closest to 30 times 10. So your estimations are going to vary a little bit, so it's not going to always be the same for everyone. I know that I move my, we don't get rid of, but I'm going to move my 0 to my product. And I'm just drawing the arrows so that you can see where I'm moving it to. And we're not getting rid of them, but we're just moving them. And then I'm left with 34 times 1. So it's going to be about 340. Or that 30 times 10, I'm going to move the 2 zeros out and put those in my product. And I have 3 times 1 is 3. So I'm going to have an answer of about 300 or 3,400 or 340. Now, when we were talking about the partial products, I'm going to first of all do the area model first, because I think that once we do the area model, we can move into the partial products and then take it to standard algorithm. So I'm going to draw a square. Well, I'll do a rectangle. It's okay. And I'm going to cut my rectangle into fourths. And the reason I'm doing it is because I have a 2-digit times a 2-digit. You can remember when you're finding the area of a rectangle or a square, it's a length times width or a side times side. It'll be the same thing. So I can do it on this side instead of this side. So you can get used to it for both ways. So I am going to label this with 1s and 10s, and this is going to be 10s and 1s. Looks a little different. That's okay. You can do it on this side if you want to. It'll help you feel more comfortable. Now I'm going to expand out my 34. And when we expand it, we're stretching it out. Remember, it's just kind of stretching like a rubber band. So I look in my 10s place. How many do I have in my 10s? I have 3 10s. The value of 3 10s is 30. Plus, I have 4 1s. The value of 4 1s is 4. So 30 plus 4 equals 34. What do I do to get to 12? Absolutely, 10 plus 2. I'm going to put my multiplication sign here. Again, if you do it on the opposite side, that's fine. And I'm going to put my arrow because it's going to be 10 times, and my arrow's down here. 10 times 4, 10 times 30, and I'm done with that one. Just switch over to pins on my 1s. And again, this is going to come this way. So this is going to be 2 times, and I'm bringing down my 4, and 2 times, and I'm bringing down my 30. What I had seen is some of y'all were not putting the equation. Please, for right now only, actually, I would do it as a habit while you're in 5th grade to teach your brain and get it stronger, to write down the equation so that it'll be easier when you go back to check to see if you made any mistakes. So 10 times 30 and 10 times 4 and 2 times 30 and 2 times 4. So 10 times 30 is, very good, it's 300. I'm going to remove my zeros and put those into my answer, and I'm left with 1 times 3 is 3. I have 1 0. I'm going to remove this 0 and place that as part of my answer. What I have left is 2 times 3, and 2 times 3 equals 6. For the 10 times 4, I know that it's 40, but if you couldn't see that, I'm going to cross out my 0 and move it to my answer. What is the answer to a multiplication problem? Right, the word is products. But here we're not doing the final answer, we're only doing parts of the answer. So 4 times 1 equals 4, and I have 40 there. And then I know that 2 times 4, or 2 groups of 4, equals 8. Now I'm going to add them up. I'm going to go ahead and add this way. 300 plus 40 equals 340. 60 plus 8 equals 68. Add that up. I have 8. That is 6 and plus 4 equals 10. Regroup. 3 plus 1 equals 4. So my answer is 408. I'm going to take this same concept here and I'm going to put it into partial products over here. So I'm going to do a stacked, which is 34 times 12. It looks like it's almost a standard algorithm, but I'm going to stretch out my number and put 30 plus 4. Then I'm going to stretch out the 12 and it would be 10 plus 2. Remember that we're starting in the ones place, so I'm going to kind of circle this and draw an arrow going up. I'm going to label this as my ones and my tens. Look at what we did, my ones and ones, so 2 times 4, did it right here, equals 8. So check, got that. Now moving over here, I'm still in my ones, so I have 2 times 30, very good. And what is 2 times 30? Very good, it's 60. So I'm going to write that down here. If this part here is confusing you, I want you to write down what your brain is actually thinking. So I'm going to put 2 times 4 here, and then I'm going to put 2 times 30 here. All right, now I'm done with my ones. I'm going to move over to my tens. So I'm done here, done here. Moving to my tens, I'm going to kind of cross that out to say I'm done. My tens, I had 10 times 4. Here I have 10 times 4. And I can see that it is 40. The next one, I have 10 times 30, and that's 300. Now that I'm finished, if you're lining up all your numbers, then it'll be easy to add. If you didn't, then I would suggest you bring these out and then rewrite it. 300, 40, 60, and 8. And then if this is easier for you to do, then do it this way. So 8 plus 0 equals 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. Regroup my 1 and put that plus sign because they were telling your brain, oh, don't forget, I've got to add something in. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. So my answer is 408. Is that what I got over this side? Yes, it is. We are going to get the same answers, looks different, has a similar path, but we went about it differently. But we won't always be doing this in everyday life. In everyday life, we're going to do that standard algorithm, which is the form that we see it in all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and stack my numbers, 34 times 12. And again, the reason we're doing this is so that you understand why we are doing what we do over here and how it's related to our expanded form and our place value. So where you regroup and how that place value is important. So again, I'm going to start off in my ones place, going up. And where are we starting? 2 times 4. Do you see that here? 2 times 4. Do you see that here? 2 times 4. And 2 times 4 equals 8. Next, we say, this is what we're saying. I always say this. Okay, so 2 times 3 equals, and here's 2 times, what we said 30. We said 2 times 30. And we say 2 times 3 equals 6. But what we're really thinking is 2 times 30 because that 3 is in the tens place value. But look at this one here. For our ones, 60 plus 8, does that equal 68? Is 60 plus 8, does that equal 68? Absolutely. So this is what we got from our ones. We're done here, and I'm going to put 0 is my hero. That means that I don't need to multiply any more things in this one, and I'm done. So my next, I move over to my tens place value now. And I started my tens place value. So write it tens and tens. So if we look over here, I have 10, but we say 1 times 4. And I look over here and I have 10 times 4. And I look over here and I have, oops, I didn't even write that down. 10 times 4. And we know that it's 40, so we say 1 times 4 equals 4. But we also know that it's 40. We know that this is 40, and then this is 40. Then I move over to 1 times 3 equals 3, but we think 1 times, or 10 times 30, 10 times 30, 10 times 30, so it's 300. Is 300 plus 40 equal to 340? It's absolutely right. Look at this one here. In my tens that I multiplied, is 300 plus 40 equal to 240? And that's right. So that came from our tens place. Now I'm going to add these up. 8 plus 0 equals 8. 6 plus 4 equals 10. I'm going to regroup by adding 1. So I've already done my ones, tens, and now I'm in my hundreds. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. So my answer is 408. So you'll have all three answers, and you're going to do the same with the other items. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up. I'm not going to do them for you, but I will set it up. I did it in pen. I hope you can read after I write on here. So setting this up, again, when you're estimating, 18 is closest to, very good, 20. 22 is closest to 20. Very good. And if you're still getting confused, draw yourself out a number line. If I needed to put 18 on here, I would say that it would be here. So it'd be 19, 20, which means over here would be 15, and this would be 10. So where is 18 closest to? This 15, 16, 17. This is 18. It's closest to 20. So draw out yourself a number line to help you see it. Because if you don't visualize it, you don't see it, it makes it really difficult to solve for it. I have 2 zeros here. I'm going to go ahead and put those into my answer. I'm left with 2 times 2 is 4. And so the answer is about 400. I'm going to do the area model, and I'm only going to show the area model, and then you're going to solve. Remember to label ones and tens and ones. I'm starting off with my actual problem. I had 18. How do I stretch that out and show the expanded form? You're right, 10 plus 8. I have 22. I need to expand that out. How do I do that? Yeah, you're right. 20 plus 2. Remember, you're going in this direction here. So this is, I put a multiplication sign there, and I'm doing it on the other side. Does it make any difference? So 20 times 10, and bring this arrow down, 20 times 8. 2 times 10, 2 times, and bring down your 8. So I have all my 8s down here. I have all my 10s down. This 20 is across. The 2 is across. Remember, this is ones. I keep seeing that O, and it's like, oh, what is that? All right, then I'm going to do it with that partial products, and I'm only going to do part of it. 18 times 22. We said that we're going to expand this out to 10 plus 8. 22 is expanded out to 20 plus 2. Okay, remember that you're going to, I'm going to go ahead and put it to the side. Looking at what I did over here, I need to do the same. 2 times 8. Did I do 2 times 8? Very good. The next, did I do 2 times 10? I did. And I'm done with my 2's. So I'm done with my 1's. Now moving over to 20. Did I do 20 times 8? 20 times 8. And did I do 20 times 10? And you're going to figure those out. Then in standard algorithm, and I want you to see the relationship, right? I know that, some of you are like, oh, I know this, but do you know why you know it? Are you able to explain it in words based on the area model and partial products? Why is it this way? So you'll multiply that out, starting here at the 2. Look at this, 2 times 8, whatever you get. 2 times 10, but we say 2 times 1. And when you're done there, you go to the next one, 2 times 8, but we say 2 times 8, but we mean 20 times 8. We say 2 times 1, but we mean 20 times 10. All right, so I'm going to let you figure that part out. And so y'all kind of getting the gist of it. The more practice, remember, the goal is you got to be able to have standard algorithm by the end of 5th grade, and it's a lot faster. But in order to get here, we've got to understand this process. We're going to estimate 43 is closest to, very good, 40. 15, we can say 20 if you want. You can say 15 if you want. So you can do 40 times 20, whichever one. I'm going to stick here. I have only one. And I know that if I had 15 4 times, well, 15 plus 15 is 30. That's twice. If I added another group of 30, that's 60. So it's going to be about 600. If I did it this other way, I'm going to put my little squiggly. I have 2 zeros. 4 times 2 equals 8. So let's see what we have here. Now, 43 times 15. And remember, at any time you need to pause it, pause me and then unpause me when you're ready to move forward. So it does seem like I'm going fast, but if I didn't, it would take forever, and I don't want hours on this recording. To break out and stretch out the 15, it's 10 plus 5. Remember, you're going to do your area model first. Label ones, tens, ones, tens. You're breaking it up, right? So my 43 is 40 plus 3. The 15 is 10 plus 5. And then I'm going to let you put those equations in and see what you come up with. Put your multiplication here, draw your arrows because this is the direction they go in, and then bring this down. Go back over to your notes if you need that. And then your standard algorithm, which is in standard form. This is the way we write the numbers, 43 and we write 15 this way. We don't say, oh, I have 10 plus 5, not expanded form. We just say we have 15, right? Okay, and then you'll figure that out. And remember to pause me whenever you need to. So I'm going to let you do the rest of these because this is pretty much the gist of what we're doing. When you come over to this back part, you have two choices. You can solve for 32 times 15. Do you want the challenge? Do 328 times 15. Yeah, okay, so I felt like, ooh, remember we did the model, the area model. We were talking about a rectangle. I still have my ones. The rules will never change. I have my tens, and then I have my hundreds. Again, the rules will never change. They stay the same. That's what's so beautiful about math. They'll add in extra things for you to do, but the format will always stay the same. Then I have tens and ones. So if I'm breaking up my 328, I have 300 plus 20 plus 8. 15, you said in expanded form, is 10 plus 5. But my multiplication, I'm going horizontal. This is the direction I'm going. So now I have 10 times 300. 10 times what? Very good, 20. 10 times, excellent. So what makes it so hard to do 3-digit by 2-digit? Remember, if you're just getting your place values, it makes it a lot easier to understand. Now my ones, 5 times 300. See how these are coming down? Next I have 5, because it's going across, times, bring down my 20. Next is 5 times, bring down my 8. And I'll let you solve that one. You'll do the same thing with your partial products. Don't get confused on all the different numbers. I'm going to set this out here to give myself some more room. So I have 300 plus 20 plus 8 times, as my eyes are going to say 15. And this is 10 plus 5. Same format. Okay, and then you'll do your standard algorithm. 328 times 15, and you'll do it that way. All right. You guys have any questions? I'll try to get on by 6 through Google Classroom, or I'll leave a Zoom link so that you'll know how to get hold of me. And it'll be from 6 to 7 if you have any questions. All right. I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. Bye.